1. Yodi. When I was little. Since I became a doctor, it happens to me more often that I am under stress more than I should. And not ordinary stress, but abnormally strong stress. The reason for that is my profession, which has the power to save lives. Today, while I was returning home by motorbike, a woman appeared before my eyes. She collapsed as if dead on the road due to the impact of a clumsy idiot who was driving too fast. I went with the motorbike to the place where it happened. Suddenly the traffic stopped. People ran to help. They asked the woman if she was okay or needed anything. Everyone was scared. People were trying to help. They wanted to move her out of the way, but I shouted, "Stop! I am a doctor." They listened to me, and they moved away from the woman. But that didn't change the seriousness of the situation. Everyone was scared. People were trying to help. They wanted to move her out of the way, but I shouted, "Stop! I am a doctor." They listened to me, and they moved away from the woman. But that didn't change the seriousness of the situation. The questions also began: will the doctor survive? Is she even alive? Are there any fractures? What should I tell them to people? I'm not an X-ray, so I know. When I was little, I imagined myself to be a doctor, and I was on purpose at the center of those developments. Then when I officially started studying to be a doctor, and when I was in practice, I tried to answer patients' every question. My brain was full of information, with diagnoses, with therapies, with patient names. But now that I have grown up and become a doctor, I realize that a real doctor has no time for talking and explaining, but only time for action. I gave the woman some water and took her blood pressure. She had high blood pressure because the heart was struggling to pump enough blood. I tried digital compression to stop the bleeding on the left arm. When the woman saw her blood shuddered and closed its eyes because it was afraid of blood. Someone remembered to call an ambulance, and I comforted the woman to do so as not to go into shock due to blood loss. When the ambulance came, I met mine again. Colleagues just told me, where Yodi is, there are disasters. I'm cursed, haha. They were afraid of blood. Watch out for pressure and the occurrence of shock. Thank you, your queen. Come on, go. See you tomorrow, I greeted them. When I was a little girl, I dreamed of healing others because I knew that it would bring me happiness and a sense of belonging. But when I grew up, I realized how serious what I wanted was. I learned how important seconds are to someone. When I grew up, I realized how unrealistic expectations children have. When I grew up, I realized what it means to think of others more than for myself. When I grew up, I realized how valuable life is. I realized that the most valuable things can happen very quickly and accidentally get out of hand if we are not careful. When I was little, but now I'm grown up and everything is different. Yodi. Okay, who is it now? I rubbed my eyes. I blink several times and I realize that this is not a dream and that someone is calling me on the telephone. I look at the clock, 3 in the morning. Who is this fool who calls me at 3 in the morning? Unknown number. I clear my throat and sip some water, hoping the phone would stop ringing again to return to my dream. It breaks and then again it rings. Damn it! This must be serious. Yodi, go to bed on the phone, please. Doctor, we need you urgently. Sorry I'm looking for you late, but a few of the famous customers who came to eat with us got serious food poisoning. I don't know what to do. We don't have any electricity. We have no water. We are almost 30 minutes from the nearest pharmacy and 1 hour from the hospital. Until they all come, I'm afraid something bad will happen to them, doctor. Help! We find ourselves in a difficult situation. Help! A call for help. I am the right man. Super Jody is coming. Okay, don't plan on me flying to your hotel. Mister? I don't know. You gave me a business card when I came to your hospital and you told me that I could look for you at any time. I hope I haven't made a mistake. It is not understood. I will get some medicine from the pharmacy on duty. I am coming by motorbike. I will arrive in 10 minutes. Pray that nothing bad happens to me along the way. Yodi, go to bed at any time for your health. It is true, but sometimes I forget I'm not a superhero. I do not have such powers, but still, I serve the people. Food poisoning is a dangerous thing. I know that hotel well, and I know that you would not intentionally make such a mistake. But on the other hand, I also know that you wouldn't make so many dishes by accident, which would be poisonous. I made a net in my head. Good. I knew the people who worked in that hotel as cooks. For sure we wouldn't dare make a mistake. However, something serious happened for which either they were not careful enough, or there was a spy between them. But why and for what purpose does it cause a problem with the food? For what purpose does it harm innocent people? This is a serious situation. Smells like crime to me. And that with electricity and the water and their sudden interruption clouded me even more the head. I will find out what it is. I took some medicine that I had at home. I wore sweatpants over my pajama bottoms, and of course my leather jacket. I don't go anywhere without it. When I looked in the mirror, I wanted to go home and change my clothes, but it was already late because 3 minutes had already passed. There are still some left. 7. I informed my colleague at the police station that I had an emergency in one of the famous hotels in the city, and I gave him the plate of the engine in order not to punish me if I drove fast. And I will drive like crazy. I told him about my doubts about the poisoning and the termination of the basic products for life, and he just answered me. You are a cat with 9 lives and 9 professions. You surprise me. If you say so, it will be so. We're coming for you. I smiled at what I heard. Then I put my phone in my jacket pocket and left home. While riding the motorbike, I felt like I was flying. I have 6 minutes left. I don't know how fast I was driving, but I know I was in a mad rush. It was still an emergency. God was watching over me. I bought food poisoning pills and enough water. When I arrived at the hotel, the receptionist refrained from laughing at me loudly for a long time. I'm a clown. Laugh as much as you want. I couldn't get dressed like I should be. What should I do? You called me in no time, and you expected me to come quickly, and I didn't know how to dress. Surely you didn't plan for me to come nicely groomed and dressed. I put on what I caught first. No, Dr. Yodi, you're just being a bit funny, but honestly, you. Thank you for realizing the seriousness of the situation. No problem, I am always free for my patients. When we are with them, let's not waste time. Where are they? They are very, very famous. One is an actor, one is a singer, and the third is a choreographer and stylist. The actor's name is Leon's, the singer Patrick, and the stylist Nick. We have tried so far with electricity, but nothing. The elevators don't work, so you have to take the stairs. Damn it! Come on, hurry up. Get up and exhale. Get up, breathe out. Get up and exhale. And so I screeched like a broken record. They were all on different floors. But I said to bring them, i.e., to place them on the same floor and in the same room. While I was treating Patrick, I told the security, all those muscular huge guys, to bring the other 2 sick to the 7th floor. They listened to me, and then they brought and laid them on the beds in the living room, if I could call it that, the room in which Patrick lay. I asked Patrick and the other guys about the symptoms to make sure it was food poisoning. Cramps, abdominal pain, diarrhea, weakness, and increased temperature, they confirmed. I gave them a weak solution of potassium permanganate to rinse the stomach, and then solutions for causing vomiting. Patrick, Leonce, and Nick. I didn't know any of them. I searched my backpack and found electrolyte powders and water. I made them drink water all the time to keep them properly hydrated. Because a lot is lost through sweating and vomiting liquids. I told them they should drink mint tea. I told them that they must eat for at least 2 days, 2 baked bananas or boiled rice and nothing else. I warned them about further complications, which if they should occur, they should call the hospital immediately. They nodded at me. They were good. The color of life returned to them, as I would say when a man comes to his senses. I looked at them before I left and smiled, grateful but also proud that I had healed them. Thank you, Lord. I prayed briefly. If he had not given me strength, I would not have done any of this. As I was leaving Mr. Patrick's room, I heard that the police also came. Finally, the police came, I said to myself. Now I can be sure that everything is fine. I put my backpack around my shoulder and started to go down the stairs. My knees hurt, but I kept going down. Slowly but surely I was on the 4th floor. 1 floor above me I heard a man's arrogant voice. It's very obvious that this turned out to be Paul. We got you again. If you already want to steal, you have to be more creative and not so obvious. What was this? But I told the security people, I knew that Felix's room had someone, they didn't believe me. Sir, sorry I don't know your name, Eric. Mr. Eric, I wouldn't believe you either without seeing with my own eyes. That's our job. We don't believe much in assumptions, but in evidence. If my friend Yodi hadn't called me, neither would I have said that she was suspicious and that she smelled something suspicious and we would not come. That woman has an 8th sense about things like this. I heard my name and I was happy. So still intuition wins. Great. I was very afraid of saying something wrong so the policeman wouldn't believe me, but now my heart is full when I know that justice is at hand. Finally, the stairs are finished. I stopped at the front desk and gave some instructions to the receptionist who rang my bell. At that moment, mine also appeared. A policeman friend approached me. It was carried by the criminal. I immediately noticed that the criminal put one handcuff and the other was tied to the arm of the policeman, which meant that one hand of the criminal was free. Why did you put only one handcuff on him, i.e. why did you tie her with your hand? I don't think it's safe. To criminals for a living head wouldn't believe them. Come in my presence, nothing happens, don't worry. Ah, so you are that Yodi, spoke the criminal. Just yes, I'm getting out of this prison you put me in, it's bad for you. Who are you talking to, you idiot? I'll put you on life in prison. No cop, a barking dog doesn't bite, he's not that creative. You only want money, you are greedy for it. I addressed the thief. Such petty thieves as him are not capable of killing a man but only to intimidate. If I want to kill, that's not a problem for me. I will still stick to my opinion, and that is that you don't. You can't use the weapon. You are a coward, they told him. I smiled in his face. I can. You will see. Don't pretend you're some strong man, don't challenge me, doctor. I did not take this warning seriously enough, and it was important in life. Something happened because of me and I will feel guilty forever. That night, I made a promise to myself that I would never do it again, questioning a man's masculinity. The man is a very dangerous being when his manhood is degraded. And I would do anything to prove others wrong. I learned this on the hard way. After his comment, I just smiled and waved and said, "See you in hell." The original meaning was addressed to him, but that night he also took me with him to hell because I was guilty of murder.